Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Mondem Ding. We are in the month of November, where we celebrate the joy of spring in high anticipation of summer. 2020 has been a rather tough year, but we still soldier on, looking forward to the great prospects that the future holds. November is a significant month because it is also the birth month of a legendary Mr. Tsewu. He was born in 1967 kwidolophu ekuthiwa yiRhini, Grahamstown, in the Eastern Cape. He is a teacher, a musician, a father and mentor to many young South Africans. Yesterday was the celebration and remembrance of his birthday. We often celebrate people's lives when they are no longer with us. It is important that we adopt a culture of celebrating people and their contribution in our lives while they still live. And so tonight, I am joined by former students of this great man to celebrate his life and wish him many more days of excellence and prosperity. I would now like to invite all of these gentlemen and ladies to introduce themselves, starting with Mr. Mabwe.
Thank you, Mr. Mtingise. I am Tifoshon Mabwe. I'm also one of the people who were privileged enough to have been taught by Kajeni, Mr. Tsewu, to have learned a lot from him, to have learned life skills from him. He taught me English from grade 10 to grade 12, that is from 2001 to 2003. Yeah, like I said, one can't help but to learn a lot from him. So I regard myself as being privileged or blessed that my path and his had to meet during those times of high school. I am currently employed by Legal Aid South Africa through some guidance from him, let me put it that way. Yeah, so thank you, Monde.
Right. Thank you. That was Mr. Sean Mabwe. Crossing over to Mr. Nhlale, all the way from Germany.
Thank you so much, Khatebi. Ndiyabulela kakhulu molweni madoda. Bandakuthi, bandakwethu. Ndiyabulela kakhulu. Ngisiyabulela Nhlale lo, uDoyi, Khandi Nyawana. And ndifuna ubulela mntakwethu that you invite us here. It's quite a pleasure, to be honest, to be honest with you. And we were so privileged to come across Umtshana. Iyasifuyisa kakhulu into basibeka ndisilapha namhlanje for celebrate not ubomi but the contribution yakhe uyanasena to kuthi. And sisonke apha sifike sadibana naye ngamaxesha athile, so elami ixesha libe short kakhulu ufike kwami esikolweni kakhulu ndifike sendiyisenior, and ke ngoku nalapho bonanga nto ingumahluko. It is just a lifetime to meet the guy. Today sikwezi ndawo sikuzo, we salute this guy for a contribution yakhe. Enkosi kakhulu mnakwethu ngosinvite apha Khatebi. Ndiyabulela.
Thank you, Mr. Nhlale. Mr. Nodlaye?
Yes, good morning. Ndingophelwa kaNodlaye. Nam ndidibene noba uKatyeni. Yeah, also known as Umtshana. I still don't understand why, but yeah. Ungumtshana kubanye abantu apparently. Ndidibene naye and ndandifunda eFezeka. Eyilonto engu-conductor. And even though ndaphela ngisiya nase-varsity doing opera opera leyo endayincanca kuye in a way, but kuyafumaniseka into isandla sakhe kwicala lomculo even to this day sisavakala and sisekhona. So yeah, thank you very much for the invitation and the acknowledgement yakhe. Ngicela into yoba simcelebrate ngoku esaphilayo because ngomso nangomso omnye, you know, sawuthi akwabe kube sekwabekile. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yeah, we are still waiting for a few other members who are also alumni of Fezeka Secondary School, who again were also fortunate to have been taught by Mr. Tsewu. So while we are waiting for them, we're just going to jump straight to it. Mr. Mabui, I'm going to throw this question at you, sir. Can you please tell us, draw a picture of a character of Mr. Tsewu?
Thank you, Mr. Mtingi. Where do I even start? One of the most important characters Tishara Anazo, which I found to be most important, is his way of bringing a sense of belonging to everyone, or to every student, or to every learner, a class in from the classroom point of view. He was always easily accessible. When you had a problem, he would be the first person that comes to mind. That being whether ukupanga mali, whether wenza homework, whether whatever problem nayo, he's the first person that would come to mind, because he's warm. Una warm futishara. He's a parent. He's a parent. He's been a father figure to many of us, not only to his area of learning, which was English. Because I remember at times we used to go to him for maths. Teacher, I don't understand this topic, and he will take you through it. Physical science, everything. He would never say, "Fondin, nanti kufundisa English, fundisokolisa nge-maths, ne-science, nentoni." No, he would never do that. He would actually come in and he was very good with maths, because sasisiya kuye thina for maths. So he was that kind of a parent, that he does not only involve himself with lento yakhe English, but with any other things as well. I remember at some point, he also used to assist with drama, and would come in with drama. At some point, he even had lessons as a ballroom dancing, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then there was also the debating society. So everything he touched, he made sure it comes to a success, because the debating society as a Fezeka became one of the best in the province.
Yes.
The Fezeka choir was one of the best, if not the best in the province, or even nationally at the time, to even say that. So a character Katishara was that everything he touches, he made sure it turns into success. And he would say, Ikamalam, my reputation, my name. So that's one of the things that I've learned from him. When you do something, you do it right. That's him. He would disrupt a class, get jokes, up in the in 2 minutes. Busy a class in, especially during when we were busy with poems. He loved poems. When we're busy with poems, he would just crack a joke, and then attention it delved to each joke, and then in a split of a second, would manage to get everyone's attention back again with the topic at hand. So, one of the characters as in man that one could learn from. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well said. Well said. Mr. Nosaiya, I'm going to come to you with the next question. Can you tell us about, or rather, in your own words, what was a role, or what has a role, Mr. Tsewu, what has it been in your life as Mr. Nosaiya? Are you still with us, Mr. Nosaiya?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So what was Mr. Tsewu's role in your life?
The role has been huge. Ne.
Yes.
You can hear you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Dingy.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Continue.
Oh, sorry. Because something differently. You know, the role in my life is very tall, man, in the way. Because as Mr. Maboy has said, as much as a conductor, Kunabu figure at the same time. Yeah, and there's certain things in this fundegi and I do but when it comes to the music, and then he introduced me to this music, young music law that I mold my life around. Throughout. So in the sense in the from going overseas, from the Cape Town Opera, or Ucharu has always been there, whether in the background or very prominent. Yeah, well, because Oilo Kari or Francis by Pelosani Mamela. Aufuni, whether they're phone or not, if it basically means nobody you know, and when I learned and then I was blessed enough, if you want to say that. Nago Mire Makeba where where start sake Sandi Bangela into bandi kwazi nam ushala nalendo ebeyifundisile and then take over from him because he had done everything and I'm just making sure now I keep everything there and then Tao City Mr. Tsewu is known all over. Yeah, so you always want to make sure you keep it disciplined, you keep it right there, and you do not lose it first because he's the type of person without saying in the bar, we're disciplined, you know the character that he is, and then you know how to act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nosaiya. Before coming back to you, Mr. Maboy, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Nokwanda. Mrs. Nokwanda.
I think who's muted.
I believe Nokwanda has joined us. I am just going to check. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for welcoming me, Chair.
All right.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself, my dear?
Kanene. Andiyazi kaloku. Okay, unokwanda ne? Bhovana. ex-student yasefezeka as well, ex choir member, alumni efezeka, generations way back. So I've been part of abantu abaphuma ezandleni zikaTitshala Tsewu. Still I am legends. zasefezeka choir who are still yabona nisenza izinto ezinhle and ke ngoku nisakwazi ukuthi siphuma kwezandla zikaTitshala Tsewu. So I'm one of those people mna kuqala abasuka kwezo zandla. So ndiyavuya uba lapha. Thank you, Chair, for welcoming me, and hi everyone. Hi Nhlale. Hi Mabu. Sean. And now Mr. Nodlaiya.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so coming back to you, Mr. Maboy. Uyakhumbula bhuti into okubana efezeka, like it was the best time, ne? Especially xa ungena kwikwaya. Sonke stress saseklasini, whether it's mathematics, geography, in my case, history, whatever the case might have been. Kodwa ungena kwakho kwikwaya kaMr. Tsewu, all of that just vanishes. So can you take us back to those days, Mr. Maboy? Kwakunjani ekwayareni kaMr. Tsewu?
Yo, Munda, that was the best 5 years of my life. It was the best 5 years of my life. By the time you get to school, you couldn't wait for the school of Sipumu to be practicing. Kuzawuqalwa iculo le competition. First thing is that ikwaya yasefezeka was never a competition choir. Yangeyokwayara iphela ngo-August after kuphela i-competition. No, we were there from January to November or October, just before exams. There was always a performance we were preparing for. We would just come in, sense amaculo, hymns, and apart from preparing for competitions, the time at the choir was bliss. Kwakubnandi. There was a period after i-rehearsal iphumile, so ke sihlale sikhaphane sihlale sonke, because talento yokwakhana to always be there for each other. Because xana omnye enengxaki, you don't have to go to Tishara to solve that problem. He taught us to resolve issues or challenges that we're facing among ourselves. Well, then there was a time Tishara wayesakhwela ibus e-196 xa igoduka. Xa siphume practicing, sihamba sonke apha emveni kotishara sihamba sicula sikhapha utishara somlendisa ibhasi. After utishara ekhwele ibhasi sikhaphane, and then we would get home. The next morning, sifike esikolweni nyani, you go and attend to your classes, phuma isikolo. The same thing again, go to choir rehearsal. There was a time whereby sidibana lunch break, Tishara would give us 10 to 15 minutes to have something to eat. Then siqale practice lunch. After lunch, we go back to class, and then after school, then we would go back to rehearsal. There was this character in the choir in Bukamen. Bukamen would be in chairs, would just joke because everyone else was serious, concentrating. Round the boss. Kute cwaka ekwayarini. Kute cwaka ekwayarini. Tutisara. Kanmen. Basaqashwa abantu bayisekesini sani. Basaqashwa abantu bayisekesini. Kanje kanmen. Basimba sani. Basimba man. Oh, lotisara. Kanmen. Oh, lotisara. Tisara ngicela uyochama. Kanmen would say. Tisara. Ambochaya kanmen. Ambochaya kanmen. Ungabuyela kumdepo apha. Apho kanmen. Hamba yochaya. And then it was sneaked back to the choir. Tisara kambonanga. Wamtshana ke. Kanmen. Uyanuka umdepo sani. Kudala ndithethe nto. Uyanuka umdepo sani. Notsha uzofika ucinukisa ngomdepo apho. Uyanuka umdepo sani. Basimba man. So there was always a lighter side to everything, even though would be under pressure. Competition is just around the corner. There's a lot that we still had to finalize and go through. But I always make sure that there was always that lighter light. There was always a but we must do this with passion. And one thing he always used to say would be, no matter the results, if we see a competition in and we perform your best,
Yes.
the audience loves the performance yako, would say then we win it. Position, if the audience appreciated your music, then that's your competition.
Absolutely.
So those were the best years of my life. I remember at times would even come. There was a point practicing, especially during the competition. Male voice and female voice would alternate the Saturdays, just to make sure that we were prepared. Funny enough, Saturday male voice, female members of the choir would come by your bukel. Female Saturday would go there, see your bukel, and would make sure before kuvalwe, there's a hymn ezoculo. Into esiyithanda sonke. I remember when uTishara wasifaka iculo elithe ekhaya amadoda. If you still remember the song. Hey, silithandile elo culo siyifezeka kwaye.
Lisathandwa nangoku.
Silicule elo culo siyifezeka kwaye. Athi uTishara busy kuphoshiya shwam. Tithi lathi siyogqibela ekhaya amadoda. Before kuvalwe would do ekhaya amadoda and then would do hymns. But kuyo yonke into, one thing uTishara never forgot to do or to teach us kumthandazo. Before sivale irehearsal, sawucula hymn kuthandazwe. Before we leave isikolo, whether siya competition or siya perform noba siyaphina, but kufuneke siyibisile inkosi si-invite ibenathi. So those are life lessons that one cannot read somewhere okanye kuthiwa ufunde incwadi life lessons. No, those are izinto that you take with you to the grave.
Yes.
So I was very fortunate and ndiyabulela uThixo that nam indlela yam yadibana nekagatyeni. So in a nutshell, Monde, ixesha echoirini was the best time. It was the best time.
No,
Thank you, sir.
It can't be said better, Mfikazi. It can't be said better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wabeke kahle kakhulu. Sizawuwela ke ngoku sibheke eJamani kuMbathane. Mr. Nhlala, you still with us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mfikazi. You know, Mos, Ifezeka Choir was a very competitive school choir, both provincial and national. We were an award-winning choir. Even before our time. You'd remember that kwakuko rivalry between Ifezeka and Masile at some stage. Apo Mr. Tsewu would compete intensely with the late Miss Mchana. And then fast forwarding to 1999, 2000, where we started competing with Luhlaza and this Tembele Matiso. Kwakukho competition eyayithanda ukwenzekela enterhiyeyo. MP between Ifezeka and Steve Tembele Matiso. Can you share that story?
Hey. Khatem. Unthatha ngoku yabona uyitsale wayitsala wavese waza kule point exactly that efeli tall. You know, ndifika Ifezeka ikwaya apha yazwa nationally iluhlaza. No, from kwimethu singers apho nisuka khona eBhayi. iFrotman upele Frotum. Uva esithi ndizawuya eKapa the next year. Yeah, okay. Uzafuna dibanise kunye nezinye ezititshala balule ambize uMchana, ambize uSharuna sekunyamende. So ndiva mna ngabo ngelo xesha, you understand? But hey, I know ikhona into eyenzekayo. Okay, umama naye abe ngumuntu ofuna uyohlala eKapa. So asifumane ke amfumana uMr Tsewu eSt Mary Magdalene, so si ndiyongena ke Ifezeka ngolo hlobo bayibele noMchana. Balonya ikwaya yethu I think yayinabantu abaphumayo most ukhulu becala yayinabantu abenza grade 12 2004 if I'm not mistaken, or babe baninzi beliqela like 50% of the choir. And then sinabantu abafikayo futhi ekwayareni abafana nami ke kunye ne-juniors ke sifika ekwayareni abafana noNokwanda nabanye. Sifike sonke ekwayareni. Man, it was hard. And kuyo yonke lento ne yobunzima as wawuna suku Mr Mabowe was saying, you know, ikwaya ikwaya apho engayeki ucula nje. Kuculo kokoko. Unyaka wonke oko kuculo. So ingasenzi lonto leyo kube nzima for uba sifunde preparing for competitions at any time. Uyabo. So Mr Prince had a very, very strong choir at the same time ngalanyaka. Skuluru Resang Moren. Man, it was hard to a point whereby now asinanto esinoz protecta ngayo because usibhalele. Usibethe apho uTisharu Prince saphuma ne-male voice qha 2004. Yachazela i-competition yokuqala sky na ku-province. Sisiwa ku-province ne-male voice kuphela. The way esayisebenza ngayo la male voice, Mr. Mtingi, it was not only because of yes italente yethu, but uTisharu usifundisile man indlela yokuphatha, indlela yokwenza izinto. You understand? Usinikile tools sisengabantwana. Sayithatha lo male voice sotsho nayo eJoburg. Sibambalwa sinjalo. Ne with distinctions, Mr. Mtingi, from apho sasiwina khona okokoko. Into echazela into bana indlela ekusetyenziswa ngayo esikolweni, it's not only about okay, Mr. Sewusifundisele into ba don't give up. The moment you fall, that's a moment for you to rise. Right? Ayikho enye indlela that you can succeed. I mean, if ever you don't fall. Right? Because we are uphakame. So uTisharu say bakhona abantu abangaphakamiyo kabesiwe. Yena uMr Tsewu usifundise into bana xa usiwa phakama Tisharu. Alikho elinye ixesha. And the following year because of ikhathwa ke ngoku yile isuka kuyo umfu nayo ikwaya as iphela yonke xa sibuyayo from basibuye wini email voice uthula sithanda yey banala mfutho that no singayenza lento. Went through to the finals 2005 with about 5 categories with soloists. Sasi privilege yena benobana apha asisafundiswa ukucula qha sifundiswa nokukhula uyabona sifundiswa nokwenza izinto ngendlela right. Mr. Tsewu was friends with his rivals. That's another thing. Esithe sayifuna usiqonde kwayareni most yethu sibe nechomi kakhulu kwezinye izikolo. Ndikhumbula xa sibuya from kwi competitions, we will always gather ne-X3. We will always gather ne-X3 sihlaleni sonke kube mnandi. Xa sidibene sihlaleni noluhlaza sonke yayingekho laa nto nobana asizange uzokula sangamfazweni apha socula kaloku ekugqibeleni. You know what you are here for. Do exactly what you just need to do. You'll get whatever that you get. If it's negative, it's fine. If it's positive, that's a bonus. You work on it and that ukhule kuyo. Ushalo se usifundise nendlela yokucinga, indlela nje yokwenza yobuntu. Umuntu wabantu lo. As babe sithi umise Shona apha into ba le ndaba yasedwa i6. Man, zange ndayibona itishare nje afuna uphosisa. I just have to badithethe le into. Uphume esikolweni, that's the only environment esikwazi kuyo thina. Now we're getting out of isikolo, sikhapha wena, siphuma from kwikwaya. U-interacta nabantu bokuhlala. U-interacta nabantu bokuhlala. Ne ubuliswe ngumuntu ongumama from kanye ngumuntu ongutata from endlini. Bazali bomntana afundiswa nguCharity umhlaba lo. Bathethe ngathi ngabantu befamily, akhonto ngathi bazi-friends or ngathi ngabantu abadala besazana. So we were so fortunate, man, and privileged to meet this guy. And the andifuni phosisa kule point ndiyambulela kakhulu umdala. Ngosidibanisa nale nkokheli. Ndithi gatyeni. Ukhule. Ungakhokhobi tishara. Amen.
Possible.
Thanks to me.
Possible. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Tsewu is going to enjoy listening to such warm words coming from abantwana bakhe. Sisinokwanda, I'd like to bring you in at this point. Usisinokwanda usekhona?
Ewe ndisekhona.
Basekhaya. Usakhumbula into kokuba kaloku ngo-2008 abantwana baseFezeka for the very first time they were fortunate to go abroad. Besiya England, and this was also the establishment of what was called the Fezeka Scholarship Fund. I think you and I were one of abantu that benefited from that scholarship. Briefly, how was the experience of going abroad with Mr. Tsewu?
Hayi kunyaka ndiqonda into yobana wonke umuntu wayephayana will not happen ngalaa nyaka. I-competition kwakungathi sentsho uba we were in disbelief because le nto yale trip yazafani kule nto ethethwa nguShona yoba ikwayere yethu ibingeyokwayere competition, so we would normally get gigs. So this time around I was one of the people abengazithandi ii-gigs zaselokishini. Athi xa ethiwa kuzocula ojelo zonke ngiqomba ndifuna into ekhwelisayo uthi ungahasha. So nyani it was one of eza performance endiqomba ndiyanje kuba ndihlala apha kufutshane ngiqomba ngomso tishara masishawuta abatheni singayanga. So now nyani we were so fortunate that we hosted this choir yase Salisbury. Asifika phayana, we were so excited ngoba cases ocula labantu base England intonto xa sisithi hayi ngamaxhego bazala namaxhego izothile nto. So yabuza question sizocula ntoni athi hayi sacula ingoma zethu ze-competition esiziwinileyo. And I'm like, yo hayi ke ndakwazi ke wena kufuna sibe sicula isolo apha. Isithanda ke utishara would never go for into engacacanga. Usenza nje, he will always go all out. Ndibuze ke mna ke kodwa ke bekho sinyanzela uba sicule opera man apha abantu athi Marengi uzawukwenza lento ndithi yenze mna apha ndizoxelwa nguwe wena uyibhuli. So I guess he always say that and uyibhuli encinci. So then fine for surprise yam, it turned out to be one of the best concerts we've hosted up eGugulethu. Aba bantu bavuya and yavele yakhawuleza man into yoba no siza arrange for a trip, so we have to take you guys to Salisbury. So to thinking into yobana hayi suka kudala man sathiwa sizafumana itrip nase-US, akho trip zakhe yaphumelela. Even the generation before us nayo yayithenjiswa ngama-China nentoni. Thina azange saba nelakhi yoba ikwayara yasefezeka ye-overseas, kodwa we are well known choir. Zithi xa zifike ezi kwayara zisuka overseas zifuna ukusebenza nefezeka. So nyani, within a space of a month there was an announcement into yobana iyahambe kwayara. And what made it so big and huge for us is that bathi sithatha yonke ikwaya, all 77 of you guys zizawuhamba. Hey saqomba hayi man akutsho noba yi-20 ke noba yi-40 too much uba masibhilive. But ke Thixo wenza, and I think it was special because it was one of the things utishara ingase ndithi ndiye kuculisa ndibe ndiyithathile ikwayara yasefezeka ndiye nayo overseas. So I think it was one of his dreams ezathi come true. And ke ngoku we were so special because ngela xesha ikwayara sesizixelele ngoku into yobana sizawuhoya i-competition, thina siphila nge-competition. So tishara always into yobana bayifuna uyisusa loo nto into yobana utirisano asenthi uba ukhona. Zikhona ezinye gigs that are way more than important and way more than recognized than as competition thina siziqhelileyo ze-high school. So ithe yokwenzeka loo nto leyo into yobana he was able ngo-2008 ukusithatha siye e-England. Ke ngoku enzayo ngabantu abantwana abambalwa, kwafune wonke umuntu kwaphumelela uba wonke umuntu makakwazi ukuya. So now i-experience ke zininzi because almost sonke kula 77 sasiqala ukhwela i-aeroplane. So siyama nge-characters. So we were busy sitting eplanini. Naye he's so excited. Uyazulazula ungasebhasini. Check ba abantu bahleli kakuhle, wonke umuntu uright isiphelele. It was madness because sasibaninzi and yayibuye ngumisodayisi uJulie utshara umgada 77 yabantwana. Ke ngoku sonke sasi-teenagers sisi-age group. So ukuphapha kwethu kuyohluka ne, and ke ngoku we were all excited. So having yena into yobana to manage abantwana abayi-77, I remember xa sifike e-airport big group kuchekwa i-passport nentoni mos xa iba ne-stress ne, as much as uba ingeyo loo bone but he turns red, uba pink. Athi aqosa intloko yakhe athi yo Julie andiyazi uNashas ke ngoku naye unayo la character katishara yopenika. So after he had managed to get us iplanini, ndambona uba i-relief anayo because kaloku uthi engqondweni yo Marinki, it's not that ndinisa eJoburg ngoku siyakude, and ke ngoku ndihamba nabantwana babantu. Imagine the responsibility yoba ndihamba nabantwana abayi-77. Ke ngoku nani mosi kukho naba bagezayo apha, like ufuna protector sonke neso by 77 at the same time now he wants to enjoy this experience. So okay, eventually the plane was about to take off. Uta put on a safety belts and stuff. Yathi nyuka lo plane sabe sesingabhadlanga apha enhloko because sonke si excited kwancama kwa announce plane into yobana abelungu bangabi alarmed group of choir members siyafest kwachaza uba because sase excited nyani. So because ke utitshala ke akakwazi uhlala ke athi hleli ne-musicians kuthuleke kuthi cwaka. No, utata uTsewu ngulaa mntu wathi sihleli uve ngemelodi ikhala ufake ikhi athi marenki laa vesi. So we ended up singing phayana eplanini 1 or 2 items because hayi waphakama ungacinga uba uzawucuma isihleli phantsi waphakama wakhuphi isibelt yakhe waconduct ikoyara yakhe seplanini. So we enjoyed laa nto nathi siqhela ucula ebhasini kaloku eteksini kumnandi nje kuyiloo nto leyo. We got the whole 2 weeks was awesome. Abantu base-receiver and we warmed their hearts because we went there prepared. We outdid ourselves. Messages that they gave us to learn. Safunda nezo solo zabo kakati. As our tutor, no, if solo is yagula, don't worry. I understand. So they were so impressed by is about on the choral side, back, but we were so well prepared to a point that ababantu basithanda. They became family to Tinakala, and then they decided to no, we wouldn't like their relationship. Isinayo nabantwana basefezeka iphele ngohlobo. That's when ke ngoku kwakho ke ngoku scholarship fund that abasivulayo sa manage ungena yayindim ngumonde ukhaya I think ungupita untshanyana ubusi I think number sasibayi-9 andikho sure sakwazi into yobana sakwazi uyofunda uyongena ezi-university senze ezi zinto sifuna uzenza. Umntu had the option of doing loo nto afuna uyenza. The fund was there. Yasiqhuba ifund 4 to 5 years oko beqhuba sinalo relationship. Sithi nathi ke ngoku xa mhlawumbi sifumene ezinye iigigi ezisaphayana, we would keep contact and they would come watch ezo concert even if ngoku asisahambi siseyila 70 group of 77 but singabantu ngoku abahamba overseas. So ndingathi mna to some of us yasivulela indlela ezininzi esingazange saqonda uba into yobana singaba abantu abahleli ngoku bene-passport and ke utitshala would be that person athi masihlale majita ziredi ii-passports, you never know, masihlale ziredi. Yayibona into yase-England yafika singalindelanga but we managed uba sonke sikwazi ufumana ii-passport sihambe. So ndiyakulaa nto ithi I think even nasefezeka mna isikolo yasibeka kwindawo ebuphucukarha kunayibikuyo because besi-recognize as much as babesiyikwayara but ibisithi kwaya fezeka, meaning nesikolo esiya siyaphuhla siyarecognizwa. Utitshala naye abantwana abangaka abagrumileyo because eyona comment that they used to say ukuthi into yobana we are well groomed, we are so humbled. Kwenzeka njani uba ube blessed ngabantwana abalolu hlobo aba-well behaved. And back then ke thina ke we khange siyibone into yobana utitshala instilled in us ii-teachings esizibona ngoku sesibadala because umntana wasemculweni esikolweni umntana oculayo wayevele ohluke. Andisathethi ke nge-neatness, discipline nento evuthiweyo ephuma emlonyeni uyivuka into yobana hayi lo wasekwayareni. And they used to call us names ukuba whoa odoremifa siyaxoka odoremifa because bekuthiwa xa kwenza umzekelo kuthiwa abantwana bekwayara ufumaniseka nyhani ke we stand out even in class. And ke ngoku thina sasinepressure enkulu in class because indlela sasicula kakuhle ngayo wawungafuni ubhatyaza eklasini into zakho zesikolo zingahambi kakuhle because unalaa nto into yoba zohlaza utitshala uhlaza ikwayara yabo. So those kind of teachings ke bezinjalo zisigurumile sabangabantu singabo. Yeah, just to add bezandawo. Enkosi Chair.
Because this is man, you've said it beautifully. It's almost
Yeah,
as if,
indeed.
it's almost as if we
Thank
were
you.
right there, glow playing with I'm so boys of them. Thank you very much. Mr. Tsewu has really set a high standard, a high bar indeed. This is coming from a person who's currently conducting that school choir. I always have to be sober-minded because I know that the person that was conducting the school choir before me set a very high standard, and I cannot afford to drop the ball. So I really, really see him as an icon, as a role model. Enkosi Nokwanda. We are almost going to run out of time, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm quickly going to come to Mr. Nhlale and Mr. Nudlaiya. Gentlemen, can you briefly tell us, and maybe now Sinokwanda, you can come in on this because you are also you also studied opera. So how did Mr. Tsewu expose you guys to opera? Briefly, I'm going to start with Mr. Nhlale.
Thanks, Khatebe. Ufika kwami Cape Town Opera firstly. Qale ndifike Cape Town Opera senifundisiwe. Ndifike Cape Town Opera not bandize like unozesazi. Not in that manner. Not in that manner. But Tisha Tsewu has laid the foundation.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know that basically make it a point that you need to know what's going on the basin. At least so ubuzwa ngumuntu ke naphina ke okubuzayo ube nayo into apho nothi uziphendulele. Kuthi ke owethu umbuzo itune impendulo yakho ibe kucuku. So usifundisile uSharusewu how to respond with pressure, right? So ufika kwami Cape Town Opera akube khange kube khonto apho nawuthi ngena sokola kakhulu kuyo because apha bebesitsho osisinokwanda no Mr. Sonke no set up ifezeka ibingeyokwara performer only elokishini.
Yes.
Ifezeka would be invited to go and sing with the choirs, like the choruses from Cape Town Opera on gigs. I remember my first performance is a waterfront. Sisitula one of the songs. Is a good repertoire and the enye yazo kakhulu yayibangu Magic Flute. You know utishara hey andifuni usebenzisa term ibizithanda la kokheli akabeke namathamba utishara wethu ibizithanda la kokheli and we didn't make it a point ubana xa isiye ebantwini iya nento endilisekileyo seshwa unozipresenta hayi uzipresente etyhafileyo xa uzipresentayo at least set umgangatho as you were saying Mr. Tingi ngungu. So usifundisela laa nto and bengekho nzima nalapho going to a University of Cape Town naphana there were people that abamaziyo already Mr. Tsewu because thina kuqala ezisoloisi zakhe besi ngabantu abachaphakileyo kakhulu University of College of Music. We get coachings and lessons from Juan Vegas, Omam Virginia, David, basifundise, ne? We were so privileged ngolo that uke wasilungiselela. Uyabo. So igalelo lakhe kum akhange benzima kakhulu because even kwa abantu that he would say into bana we should look up to, we were very close to. They were not so far. like it was very, very easy to reference because Uputsimpiwe Kavane is just around the corner. What's the Kuklit? Unsikile Lomali is just around the corner. He's working the Cape Town Opera. So for me, it was easy to okay, this is what I want to do. And we were Mr. Vuyomaye from Ezeka food. The products is apa or Mr. Matondile, ne onomloi, Mapumapa or Poshia, Ozolina, and everybody. So I can't get continue because the Atana again Nagubuza because the Akola Landoban and Kendi sister before. So that in the Dislung Selel and Benobas was. So Ben Buza Nendo Engati Eli Engenam Sebens from these guys because I believe Guti that I needed to take. And Tisha would say we will try by all means to not also overcrowd the Sebens that he needs to.
Yes.
Ask for some and then at the same time, that we are supposed to be doing by ourselves. So, who's full the responsibility? So, kuzo zonke ezindawo sizambileyo na kwezindawo sisafuna ukuya kuzo irresponsibility utuyithathe primary. You need to be responsible. You need to be responsible as a person for your own sake. Progress. So, even today, so many things in the NDT, yalibala ngoku kanene umtshana wayedla ngokuthi apha kule ndawo mandenze ngohlobo xa into yilo hlobo yabona ke ngoku akusasebenzi yami ingqondo kusebenza ingqondo yomfundi wase high school iye ichinje total and then funa uku-apply leyo because now eyase university ingqondo neyabelungu ifuneka ibeke ecaleni sisebenze ngale ke ngoku ye-basic. So yes man, udlale indima kakhulu and usayidlala nangoku anyway as utata. So yes.
Mr. Olgaya?
About from my side, ndandingumntu owayevela enomlianiselo kwisikolo at the time saziwa ngumculo. So now ndile Yongwane, believe it or not, it's Ulitena, you know, he knows his stuff. Utula, or according to me, Utula or Mangwali to only to realize later in life for the record, it's Mapari to Tomor. So Niafika Zanden Zake and then Ufika Kwilizwe Apo, the world of opera is embraced to Yabon. And then now we learn those and I, as much as we because now figure one the seniors at the times as a schooling yaingo Mr. Matondile Ovuyo Mayeki, the currently now late Pindiwe Yawa and others. So ufika klo environment where nabo kwasanabo they are inviting and they are welcoming because of isandla esiphezulu with umchana, obviously not Charnes but umchana ne. And then I remember in 2002 when we were doing solo groups, they were taken from all Magic Flute. And then there was a 3-year lap and no, we're still doing opera and then it's recognized Kuman go figure no Mamu Virginia as if panelists when AUCT. We are so sad because 1, uphuma kwesandla sikaMtshana. 2, besikubonile last year.
Yeah.
Usenza izinto akufundisa zona. He is not Italian, he is not French, he is not German, but unayo ingqondo emveli enough into ba azidyane zonke izinto and then aphumele as Mr. Nhlale has just said. Nawe ke ngoku uzawukwazi usebenzisa that knowledge, that wisdom uze nayo and then continue with it. So kuzo zonke nam xa ndifika kwi-Cape Town Opera ndifikela kubantu nabo abazi konke because kudala besebenza, but then wena as the current junior yasekampanini uthetha istory kufumanisa into yoba siyamameleka esi story sakho and awufanelanga into ubuthetha le ndlela because ngoyena umncinci. So kutheni unje? And asube sixoxa loo nto ke ngoku kufuneka siqhubekekile. But awuzundiqhatha kuhlalwe eklasini kuthiwa into yoba we are teaching you Mozart now, we are teaching you who the flöte.
You want to return the item. Is it
Are we still all together, Mr. P?
Yeah, it looks like it. Unfortunately, it's still recording. All right. Thank you, Mr. Notlai. Apologies for that, guys. I am experiencing some challenges network, so I'm going to try and get us to wrap up as quickly as possible. Mr. Mabui, I'm going to pose the last question to you, sir. It reads as follows. How did Mr. Tsewu's work ethic, because we all know that he's a man of integrity, you know, he sets high standards. So how was his work ethic? Let me rephrase it. To what extent did his work ethic play a role or impact your current career?
Thank you, Munda. Yeah. I remember when I first decided that, I think it was back in 2001, 2002. Otushadamus, he would make sure that he tries to find out as much as possible about you.
Mm.
He would try to fit in every aspect of your life. I remember he asked me, what are your plans post-matric? I said to him, I want to study law at UWC. Because back at that time, UWC still had the best law schools in the country. So in Dichoko, I want to study law. I think he also wanted to study law.
Mm.
But back then, when he was still studying, the registration fees differed per course or enroll. So I could only afford a lay teaching. And then he took me through the life of a law student, how we must concentrate, the amount of work, how to handle that work. So I thought to myself, hey, Sharon, we pay attention. I mean, it got me excited because he got me there already. I could picture myself as a law student already. One of the things or the strengths of Uteshara Anaso, like I said earlier on, everything he does, he makes sure he does it to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
The way he carries himself, the amount of responsibility he takes on everything, every little thing. The professionalism that he has. Your Tushara is very professional.
Mm.
And to such an extent that when you did something wrong, you would try your best, because it will just give you that look. He hasn't said a word, will just give you that look. So Professionalism is one of the things that I took from Tishar. He's very professional. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. Akazuchi up and say I'm an anyanselekang. If he said, if he commits, he's going to deliver. So that's one of the things that I took from Ukachen on a professional level. Yeah, Damont, I think that's about it.
Go support, man. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, I think we've lost Unokwanda, but it was a marvel to have her among us and to listen to a wonderful story about the Fezeka Choir going abroad in 2008. I must thank all of you, gentlemen, for your time. And like I said before, Mr. Tsewu is going to have a marvel listening to your warm remarks as you reminisce some of your wonderful moments back at Fezeka. I appreciate your time and I appreciate you. And for me personally, it was an honor to have shared time and space with you. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. You have. All right.
I see that items that you're trying to order today will decline.
Okay, so I was trying to conclude there, gentlemen. Thank you very much once again. It's been a great session indeed.
Thanks.